When you're working in the extractive sector, this isn't a challenge or a fight that you could win by yourself. One of the greatest challenges is how to organize ourselves so that we have legitimacy in our operating environment. This is a very sensitive field. We're talking about resource wealth in our countries. Who should be in charge? Who should be the watchdog in that sense?
Manaona tuko.
Mirembe.
Nasteling Deknachu.
Mujeba likeyo.
Bonjour.
Manaona.
Sabe Sefedin. Marhaba.
Akwaba.
My name is Carol Kiangura. I am from Kenya. I work for the Publish What You Pay International Secretariat, but based in Nairobi. We are an international civil society movement, and we advocate for transparency and accountability in the extractive sector.
I got involved with Elam for DC as International Mining for Development Center last year. So they sponsored me for a short course in Australia. So it kind of opened my eyes to the world of mining. I mean, we were doing mining, but of course illegally. We were doing it for a living. We just wanted to get money to have food and maybe have rent for the houses and all those things. We got exposed to so many mining companies, and I saw different kind of practices in mining. And I saw how mining could change the whole thing in our countries in Africa.
Well, last year in 2014, I was part of the Emerging Leaders program. I learned a lot about myself, about my leadership style and where I wanted to be, etc. So I really gained a lot in terms of how to improve myself. And this year they invited me to come as a faculty member, which is a very honor for me.
A challenge that we face, and which is very common amongst us, the women in mining, is the lack of capital, and that mining is very capital intensive. And so we're always looking for investors.
I strongly believe we're not a poor country. We're not poor countries, we're not developing countries. We're rich in resources, but it's a lot in terms of management of those natural resources that isn't going very well in our continent.
Most of the challenges are conflict. We have conflicts, especially with the government, because literally we have policies in Uganda that support artisanal and small-scale mining, but the support is not there also. I mean, we have the potential to grow our own businesses. Those challenges of not realizing the potential of this kind of business, they are taking us down.
Our voice is not heard sometimes as the women in mining, or maybe if we do speak to the people that we're talking to and they just hear us, but they don't do anything about what we're talking about. So that's a very big challenge.
And at times in countries, there's lack of probably proper legal frameworks that would guide in terms of our work. So trying to advocate or lobby for legal frameworks or regimes that would advance the advancements of the extractive industry for our countries.
Mining is capital intensive. Even when it is small-scale mining, you need to buy some simple machinery that can help you kind of do something bigger, but you cannot access good money that can do it. And the banks you have back home, I mean, the kind of interest they charge is too high. It's like the profit you make, you have to pay back to the bank.
This Emerging Leaders program is to enhance leadership quality in terms of who you are and what your leadership style could be or should be.
Sometimes we are intimidated. We don't really know that we have rights to say certain things, and so we just take what is given to us. So now I've learned that we can also just be assertive when it comes to these investors and partnerships.
I think I have learned so much from the different people that are in the room, not only about country realities, because we have quite a number of countries represented here, but as well the cultural perspective that everybody comes with because of their experiences, and so the personal experiences, cultural experiences, on-the-job experiences, and bringing it to the room.
This blend of cultures is very, the experiences they have, it's interesting that each country face similar problems, but they address it in a different manner, and their approach is different, and to learn from what other countries are doing is really something that I took on last year, and I'm gaining even more this year.
One of the most important things I've seen is networking. We have 14 countries from Africa, from different backgrounds. We are doing different activities. You have civil society, government, communities, we have industry. All these in the fields of mining, they are hitting on each other. But now we are in the same room and we are talking about leadership.
One huge thing I'm taking away from this course are the lessons that I have gotten about leadership.
The leadership skills that I didn't know about that I've learned. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
The course has imparted knowledge, skills, and has challenged especially me to think of the way I operate as a leader. Could I be better? And I believe I could.
I realized that there were certain things that I was doing wrong, and then I need to work on that and change. And that it makes the whole project, the whole course has made me realize that, okay, it's sometimes you cannot be 100% right. You cannot do things 100% right. So it made me reflect on that.
You can see even from day one how they are, and now we are at day 5. You see the change in people, how they relate to each other, how they address each other. It's really amazing.
It's been very eye-opening, mind-opening, I would say mind-opening for me, yeah.
There are many energetic young men in my country of my age, my size. We are running up and down looking for jobs. We are looking for big mining companies to come and employ us. And yet we can start with something small. We get bigger. As we get knowledge, we get bigger, and we grow big companies in our countries.
I actually do make jewelry on a small level, so I always wear and show that this is what we are capable of. I want us as women to also be able to add value to what we extract from the earth.
I would really like to challenge our governments in this region to take up such opportunities to invest in young leaders for our region.
I'm going to be continuing growing. I mean, I look for many opportunities somewhere else where I can add on my knowledge and pass on this knowledge to the people that I work with.
These emerging leaders, I can tap into their network. They'll be part of my network, and that's very enriching.
So these are for me are lifelong lessons I'm taking with me, and I can just only tell you, watch this space. I am going to be a positive influencer in my country and in this region.